Hi, my name is Brent Atwater, and I'm intuitive. I'm an animal intuitive, and I'm a medical intuitive. And today we're going to address both because I've had a lot of questions about that going, Brent, tell us about animal healing, and tell us about healing, and tell us about how you use your intuition. Well, first of all, thanks for subscribing and staying tuned as we ever expand our show. Thank you so very, very much for all the questions you sent in and for all the show suggestions. We hope in time we'll get to address every one of them that's educational for those of our viewers. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how I do a medical intuitive reading. Yep. And this is also for humans and for pets. It doesn't matter because we're looking into the body. And you go, oh, I've not heard of this before. Well, I'm one of a few people in the world who can look inside a human body and see organs and blood and cells and bone. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. And I've had several people nickname me the human MRI. So today we're addressing that because I've had so many people sending that question going, hey, I see on your website you're a medical intuitive, but you also see and talk with deceased animals. The reason I can see and talk to deceased pets is because I'm accessing the same frequency I access when I look inside a body. So sit back and let me tell you how I do it, and then you can decide for yourself if it resonates with you or if it's just plain weird or if it's something that's really interesting. I did write a book about this, How to See Inside a Human Body, and I'm finishing up my book on how to see inside an animal body and animal health care. So keep an eye on those. They'll be on Amazon and they'll be announced on my pages just as soon as I get them done. All right, first thing I do when I get ready to see inside of the body, I take off my glasses because I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to use my mind's eye to look inside the energy. And I always say a prayer first to connect with the energy. I ask, it is my intent to surround myself in a seamless mirror cocoon of the Christ white light to protect me now forevermore, so be it, it is done. And then I look inside the body. Now, when you look inside the body, the first thing you do is you see the past energy. And the past energy is sort of cloudy. And the way I see it is like a video, but it's slide by slide, as if you're looking at an MRI and you're looking slide by slide, although they take the MRI, remember, that's how I see it, except slide by slide. And when something, first of all, it's all just one tonal concept of electromagnetic energy. Now, what lights up, that's what I tell my clients, if it lights up, and it lights up like twink, 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 like little lightning bugs or like a nightlight, twink, 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 and the shining of that, whether it's going tweak or like twink or like tweak, that determines the medical urgency and intensity of what I have to look at. And the way my guides do it is I start at the head, okay? And I do it in quadrants. I start at the head to chin, chin to collarbone, collarbone to pelvic, pelvic to legs, go down one leg, go down the other leg, turn the individual around, come up one leg, come up the other leg, go to the bahunkus, as Forrest Gump says, then go up the back, look behind the head, go down each arm, turn the head side to side. Now, in an animal, you do it the exactly same way. And if you break it up into quadrants and have a scheme about it, like an overall 1, 2, 3, 4, then you don't miss anything because it's so exciting and it is so fun to do that you forget what you're doing. And it's like, if you don't do it in a precise, organized manner, you'll forget to cover something. And when you set your intent to do the body, like if I'm looking for cancer, then I set my intent to look for cancer. If I'm doing a general scan, then I just go head to toe and tell you what I'm seeing inside that's lighting up, going dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And I have to tell you what's lighting up so that slide will move over. That way my guides sort of govern me so I don't move along too rapidly. And if I move along rapidly, then my guides will keep posting that little tweak, tweak, tweak up like a flashing little emergency light that I need to look at that and to tell the client more about that. So here we are in the past energy, and all these things start coming up, and they come up and they have a cloud over them. And this is like walking into a theater of the body. Everybody is like a theater. It's really pretty cool. I just love it. And as you walk in, it's sort of like, you know how they got stage curtains up? Okay, you've got this like sort of cloud over it, and that's past energy. And you have to walk through the past energy before you get in the present energy. And the present energy is very clear, just like you're looking at me now. And so when you know you're in clear energy, you know you're in present energy, be it a human or a pet. All right? So then you look at whatever you want to look at. And the way I fine-tune it is I say, show me what I need to see, tell me what I need to know, show me what I need to see, tell me what I need to know. And my guides always are forthcoming with all this wonderful information. Then I also can go into the future. And to do that, you move into a whole nother energy frequency. So you don't want to be jumping back and forth between past, current, and future because you'll get a really bad headache. You walk through the past, and you have to tell the person, this is in your past. Before that slide moves over, then you hit the present energy. Now, if they want the future energy, then you click into that, and you go and give a prognosis for the future, such as, okay, you're going to have cancer metastasis in your left hip, and in your T1 and T2, and oh, by the way, at L5, S1, okay? And so a lot of times people want to know that so they have a heads up. I had a person who had cancer in the bladder, and I kept saying, no, the cancer is at the base of your kidney, and every time you urinate, it goes down the urethra and goes into the kidney. It took the MRI like 2 years to find that. So when you're looking at the electromagnetics of the body, if you want a prognosis, you look into future energy, and it gives you what's going on. Interestingly enough, when people come to me for annual physicals, this is what I think is way cool. After I finish channeling a session, I don't keep that in my mind. I totally and completely disconnect from the client's energy. Otherwise, I'd be carrying around a lot of clients all the time. And a lot of times I don't remember what we've talked about simply because I totally and completely disconnect. But if a client is coming for an annual exam, or okay, this is the way my dog looked inside last year, or this is the way I looked inside last year, how does it look this year? Then I pull up past energy, and I can compare a slide that I saw from my MRI of their body, or my body scan, by looking inside their body, to the one that is this year's, and we can discuss the difference. And a lot of you are going right now, oh, I think I'm going to unsubscribe. This is way too much. Well, there are lots of people who do ask questions like this, and I do need to answer them for them. So just sort of sit tight and wait till our next show, and that may be something that'll fascinate you. But so many people have asked me, can you see inside a body? Yes. Are there a lot of people in the world that can do that? No. Can you do it with both people and pets? Yes. And I use that when I'm talking to deceased pet spirits so that I can tell an owner what happened. I can close my eyes and I ask the pet, show me how you died, and I can look inside the body and I can see they threw an embolism, or I can see they had septicemia that broke down the walls of their intestine and they bled out internally. Or I can see the scenario where they ran in front of a car and passed away, and I can see their spirit leaving their body as they go. So really, being able to see inside a body taught me how to see past energy, current energy, transitional death energy, and future energy. And somebody says, can you see when somebody's going to pass away? Yes. And I'm very responsible about that because it's really just like you do a pet. You see a pet in a current life, they cross over the death line, and they go into sparkle form and all there is on the other side. Well, when I look at a human, if they're going to progress into the future and they're not going to be here, it crosses over and it gives me indication that they're only here for a while on earth. And with that, I teach them a prayer to say so they can find out themselves how long they're going to be here. Or I'm given an image. I had a client that said, oh, we're going to do this at Thanksgiving. I said, no, I won't be able to go to MD Anderson with you. We won't be going Thanksgiving. And he said, yes, we're going to MD Anderson. And I said, no, I don't think we'll be going. And he said, well, yes, we are. Well, what I didn't tell him is that I had had a dream that I had seen him being loaded into a plane, and it was for his funeral services. And later he asked me, he said, is there a reason that I won't be going to MD Anderson? I said, yes, there is. And so we quietly discussed that with the family, and in fact that did occur. So I hope that you have appreciated me trying to explain it to you. I just love it, I love it, I love it. Because what it's like, every time you say your prayer, it's like going into a brand new theater. And the theater is the body that you're looking at. And you sort of go in and it's all dark. And then you look with the curtains up there, and that's the past. And you walk through those curtains slowly and reverently, and you're shown the current, which is the play itself, the way a person is in life now. And you look at all that. When I want to fine-tune something like a video camera, I say, show me more, or I zoom in on it just like a video camera, and I use a zoom lens inside my head, and I just zoom in and I look more closely at the organ, or like the little hairs in the eustachian tube in your ear, and then I can back out and just look at the eustachian tube. Or I can zoom in and look at a cellular level and find where the neural pathways are not connecting that create a stroke. And then I can zoom back out and know where I've got to reconnect those neural pathways with energy healing. Pretty cool. And somebody says, where do you get your information? I have a wonderful set of guides. They give me medical terms that I have no idea what they mean, but I give them to the client, and the client then takes them to the doctor, and so far so good. We've come out really well on that. I also work with clients and their treatments. And I ask my guides, you know, somebody will say, well, I have to have 20 treatments of this. And I'll go, my guide said you'll get through in 6 or 10. And so I give input about that. And then also we work with, medicine, where a client can hold the medicine and not show it to me at all. And then I give through my guides what I think is my intuitive opinion of whether to take that, how long to take that, and how long they will be taking that, or if they need to change medicines. And a lot of people who have allergic reactions to medicines do in fact work with me this way, because they're saying, look, I'm having these symptoms, I don't know where they're from, and factually it was the medicine they were taking. And so in doing a body scan or in doing a generalized scan, same way with pets, you can determine if they have allergies or if the medicine is what's causing the physical problem inside. And some people say, well, do you do emotional? No, I really don't do emotional, because that's a whole nother layer of Vaseline over top of the current layer. I am very specific, like an MRI. And you can compare, excuse me, my guide's trying to come in, you can compare the visuals that I give you from my MRI with an MRI or a CAT scan or a PET scan or a MOGA or whatever, and they're pretty much dead on. And the reason I love it so is that I go 360 degrees around your body to be able to tell you exactly where it is. Now, when I'm in the front, I have a mirror image, and that creates a little problem, because sometimes I'll flip it and reverse it, and it might be talking about your right side when it's really your left, because that's your left side, but on mine it's right. And I tell my clients this, but when I go around the back or the side, dead on. And I was asked one time at an international conference, they said, Brent, why is your human MRI any better than a regular MRI? And I sat there going, oh no, how am I going to answer that? And somebody raised their hand in the back who was a person who was a head of radiology at one of the major hospitals, and he said, very simple, an MRI that you're in a machine only takes it from one perspective. They take it from the perspective set by the operator to the depth the operator set it, in the place the operator set it, and then it is read, and it is only good as the reading. When you do a 360-degree MRI, like I do when I go around your body, I'm looking at it, again, from the front, from the side, from the back, over top of it, underneath of it, and around, all around. And I can give you the location of where it is, and how long it's been there, and where it's going to go to. So again, I think this is all fascinating, and what I really feel humbled by is the information my guides give me. And I feel a great responsibility to this, and I feel very, very accountable as to what the guides say. And I feel very blessed that I have this gift and get to use it to help people. So, I hope that answers your question of how do I do an MRI. And that's also the same gift that allowed me to learn to talk to pet spirits. And then somebody said, Brent, do you talk to human spirits? And I don't. I can, but I don't. And somebody said, well, why don't you? Well, as everybody knows, my fiance Mike was killed, and I just use my ability to talk to spirits on the side with him. Because he's special and that's enough. So I use the rest of my abilities to honor him and to talk to deceased pets on the other side to help their owners get answers, get clarity, find peace, and have closure. And when I do the medical scans for the deceased pets, it lets the owner know what happened and why it happened and why they passed away and really what they couldn't see inside, or they can compare it with the veterinary scans that they had on file. And with the humans, I really just love doing the MRIs because every day it's a new play, it's a new body, and I learn so very much about how fabulous the human body is. And at the end of every MRI that I do with my human scan, I go and I use Gray's Anatomy and we go look up the medical words that in fact I saw inside your body, and I said, oh, look, this is where I saw it. It's by the epiglottis of the upilopus of the methylopus. But they get it and they write it down and they can take it to their doctor and further discuss it. So I hope this has answered your questions. This is starting our new realm of doing a wider berth of animal and human intuitive questions, and we hope you'll stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe. Be the first to know. And you don't have to subscribe if you don't like, unsubscribe if you don't like one video. Just hold on, because the next one may be the very question that you're asking, and you're going, oh, I forgot. How can I send in my question? Send it in via my website. You know, TV show, this is what I want to ask. And you can send it via Pinterest. You can send it via Twitter. I'm on Instagram. That's where a lot of the fun shots are. And in my Facebook group. You can find us over there. We have Ask Pet Health Questions group. We have the Facebook Pet Loss group. And I have a medical group called Ask Your Health Questions. So we're there. All you got to do is find us. And our books are all over the world. They're in ebooks and in paperback. And yes, I do readings. So I hope that explains everything and fully and completely either lets you understand what I do or answers the questions that you've been going, wonder how that can be done. Thanks for listening. See you soon. Bye, bye, bye.